Right, we should now be live. Good evening, everyone. I'm just going to check everything is working correctly. Looks like it is. Good. How are we all doing this fine and, at least in America, in England, very warm Sunday evening? Hello, sarcastic paleontologist. Hello, monster. Hello, Kairu. I know that Evo is probably still streaming, so I'll just give people a few moments to come back in here. I did a bit of work off of stream, decorating the walkthrough area. There's still quite a lot of work to go, but the Segisaurus area... Is it Segi? Did we put Segi in here? I cannot remember. Oh no, Moros Intrepidus. The Moros Intrepidus area is basically done. Hello, Dino. And we've got some nice bridges and sort of decorative fountains and a little swimming Suko here and another Suko over here. And I also did just a little bit of decoration over the sort of cut quarry cliffs and around the dig up your own fossils site. So yeah, some off-stream work got done. Hello, Berenson. So today's job is to... I kind of want to basically focus on the tour here. This is, I say, kind of a tour, but it's also necessary transport. So this side of the park, there's going to be no access to it apart from the tour. So this area here, we're going to have just like some amenities, maybe a small enclosure, but mostly amenities, guest areas overlooking the waterfall. Might make this water source bigger so we can have like a sort of waterside amenities area. So the only way to get to the other side of the park is to go on the tour and use it like a transport system. So yeah, that's the job for today. It's not a massive tour. It's not going to be hugely time consuming to decorate. So it means we can sort of take our time with it. You're recovering from a horrific illness. Well, I'm glad to hear you're feeling better, monster. Kairu has been trying to finish up challenge mode in Jurassic World Evolution 2 to unlock the remaining skins. You've made it to the final map, and so far it's been a toughie. You have my sympathy, Kairu. Berenton is in the east of the Netherlands. I hope you're enjoying your holiday. The ranger glitch where they can't reach their destination has been a pain in the neck throughout challenge mode. Ah, another bug that was apparently fixed. Right, so first thing to do with the tour is kind of figure out the routes. We'll do this as a little bit of a how I suggest you do tours as well. So the first thing I would suggest you do is to draw out your tour. Like, where do you want the track to kind of go? Now, it's quite a narrow area, this. So I don't want to waste too much of the area. So, we're going to have the... Go clockwise or anti-clockwise? Let's go clockwise. So, I'm going to want the tour to kind of stay quite close to the edge here. And then maybe go in a little there. Into the middle. And then back to the edge. For there. And then this one, we kind of do the same thing, like stick it close to the edge here. And have it go in here. Maybe. Actually, no, the return. I think the return will just keep it stuck to the edge through the whole thing. The return will just stay like here. I'm tempted to see if we can like put the return track above, like maybe get rid of this invisible fence line here and have it sort of ride a narrow ridge line all the way back, so you've got kind of like a lower bit and an upper bit. Hello King Giga. Hello Barger. You've developed a new method to force you to finish parks. I'm curious what that is. It's a bit flat, isn't it, this? And I'm also wondering where to put the water. Okay, so let's have like the water along here. Actually, I quite like the idea of there being an island in the middle. We'll keep that. And put some more water there. That's good. Where will the enchanted forest go? Well, the enchanted forest is all around. Although I suppose this area with the Tarbosaurus would be the forbidden forest. Thank you, Dino Amy. I shall pass them on. He's getting ready for... He's got work tomorrow, so he's getting everything ready for that tomorrow. But I shall pass that on to him. I kind of don't want this to be 100% flat. I would quite like there to be some thing that's not quite flat. Maybe we could do a depression instead. Instead of like a... Instead of a mountain, we can just do like a... Just an area of lower terrain, maybe. Just looks a bit stupid though, doesn't it? Maybe it really will have to be a mountain. You recently played Star Wars Battlefront 2. Oh, you mean Star Wars Battlefront 4, King Giga? Also, this lag is terrible, not on your side, it's literally the internet. Sorry, Baranson. This probably doesn't help that I stream in such high, like mega high quality too. It probably isn't helping. Dino Army and Baranson both say happy birthday to you, Dane. He's not exactly a fan of celebrating his birthday. He's one of these strange people who doesn't enjoy their birthdays. But I'm sure he appreciates the kind words. I actually don't mind if this is passable by dinosaurs. We can have dinosaurs climbing up here. I don't want too much of this enclosure to be impassable.
I was going to point out you passed on Dino Army and Brenton. You didn't say anything about King Giga.
Oh, sorry, I missed King Gigas. There we go. Insert hello there memes. Quite possibly. Yeah, I think what we're going to do is we are going to alter... we're going to alter the terms of the arrangement. And we're going to pray that I do not alter them more. We're going to just move this. Because what I want to do is have like a flat ridge here. Maybe that tool? Yeah, I think that tool is sufficient. We'll cut it into... the mountainside, as it were. We'll have an uppy bit. Get rid of all this foliage. Fletcher, have you seen the theories about... Yes, I have seen them. I have strong opinions, as you might expect, about it. I suppose now is as good as time as I need to do... Yes, before I talk about that, Berenson raises a good point. So, as you know, Fallout, mine and Dane's buddy in America, has joined Triclaw Gaming. So we wanted to know what, and his first stream is going to be on Wednesday next week, and we wanted to know what game people would like him to play. Now, I know I did this vote a few weeks ago, but I wanted to see how much people's opinion had changed, if at all. So the games listed in the poll are like the games that Fallout himself feels he would be comfortable playing on stream. So if people could vote for the game that they would most want him to play while on stream, and we will take this vote and the last vote into consideration for the stream on Wednesday. So yes, please do vote, and also if you can attend on Wednesday, the stream will be at the usual time. It will just be on Wednesday, and if you can attend, it would be greatly appreciated if you do. Fallout is kind of nervous because he has literally never done anything like it before, so it would be nice if plenty of people could show up to you know, just give him some support. As I'm sure you can appreciate, it can be a bit nervous doing streams sometimes, so any support would be appreciated. The stream will be on Wednesday, Glitzborg. It will be at the normal time, but it will just be on Wednesday. Since Wednesday is Fallout's day off, so it kind of makes sense for us to do his streams on Wednesdays. Okay, going to need invisible fencing. Fletcher, what do you think about the ship document? Right, yes, right, okay, so yeah, let's discuss my opinions on this, because I do have strong opinions, and some of these strong opinions have been furtherly coloured by the level of the conversation I've seen in Evo's stream today. Firstly, I think it's completely pointless doing any sort of hypotheticals. We know literally nothing about the movie. We don't know basically anything. And to speculate on what is literally just a boat being shaken around, like, it's just a boat being shaken around in front of a blue screen. That's it. That's all we know. And people are coming up with some very wild and very over-the-top theories based on basically no evidence whatsoever. That's my first point. No. Secondly, just from what I've seen in Evo's chat, especially today, it kind of depresses me. The level of people that think it's a hybrid, when we already know they don't want to do hybrids again. That's why there weren't any hybrids in Dominion, because they were moving away from hybrids deliberately because they realized the audience didn't like them. The fact that people still think it's a hybrid, no, it's not, and it never will be. There were wild speculations about it being a megalodon or a flippin' Dunkleosteus or any of that. This sort of wild hopium and wild speculation, absolutely no point in it. You could say it could be literally any aquatic animal at this point. But there's only one aquatic animal that makes any sort of sense. That'd be the Mosasaurus, because it's the only one that makes any sense for it to be. I also think they would be incredibly stupid to bring the Spinosaurus back. Would I like to see a Spinosaurus on screen again? A realistic one? For sure. I would love to see a realistic Spinosaurus on screen. But there was so much controversy about the Spinosaurus in Jurassic Park 3 that they would be fools to drag up all that controversy again to have Spinosaurus in the new film. It would be a really foolish thing for them to do. And it would be controversial because it doesn't matter what they do with the Spinosaurus, they would make nobody happy. At all. If they had it fight the T-Rex and the T-Rex won, the Spinosaurus fanboys would scream. If they had it fight the T-Rex and the T-Rex lose again, the T-Rex fanboys would scream. If they brought it in and it didn't look like it does in Jurassic Park 3, the Jurassic Park 3 fanboys would scream. If they bring it in and it didn't look paleo-accurate, the paleo-accurate fanboys would scream. There's literally no way they can have Spinosaurus in the film and not piss off part of the community. And given, yes, Dominion made a lot of money, but given that it's not universally considered a good film, they would be foolish to deliberately try to piss people off. So I think if we can predict anything about the new film, it will be that it's going to be very safe. We already know they've gone for a director that is, you know, goes for a relatively similar style to the old movies, where it was, you know, thriller elements. We already know they're going back to Isla Nublar, probably. So I think we can ascertain that the film is probably going to be fairly safe. It's not going to try and push the boat out. It's not going to try and do anything unusual. It will be a safe Jurassic film which appeals to the widest possible audience. That's going to be my prediction for it. There might be something in there to surprise us, maybe a new species of dinosaur we haven't seen before, but I seriously doubt it. I have a suspicion the dinosaur list is going to be Parasaurolophus, Triceratops, T-Rex, Velociraptor, Mosasaurus maybe, because the Mosa is probably the one animal from the Jurassic World trilogy. The Mosasaurus is probably the most popular animal, apart from maybe the Indorex, that they could have in it. If Rexy gets added, the laws of physics and age fanboys will scream she's supposed to be dead. Look, dinosaur lifespans are very unpredictable. How old a reptile can live to is so dependent on the surrounding environment. The best estimates for dinosaur lifespans are wildly all over the show. Like, you can say, oh, well, this fossil, the dinosaur, is this old, and it's the oldest example. Well, 20 to 28 years old is based on the fossil evidence we have. Like, this is the oldest sort of fossils, because actually determining the age of the animal from the fossil itself is equally, and you know, kind of a bit of guesswork as well. So every estimation is based on, you know, a loose interpretation of the evidence. So there's no reason to say a dinosaur couldn't live longer. You know, modern day reptiles can live for fucking centuries if the environment is correct. So Rexy can live for as long as the franchise wants Rexy to live for. That being said, I think it was foolish of them not to kill Rexy in Dominion. If I had been making the film, I would have killed Rexy in Dominion. Rexy and Blue would have died in Dominion, because those are the only characters whose deaths would have had emotional weight to them. But Dominion didn't have the balls to do anything more than kill the bad guy. And not even the right bad guy. You wonder what the lifespan of a Utahraptor would be. Like I said, reptile lifespans are all over the show. Just saying they should bring back the species only featured in the original trilogy and no more. No marine reptiles, no hybrids, only pteranodon, and none of the species introduced in Jurassic World. I mean, if they're going back to Isla Nublar, which again, I don't understand how, because isn't Nublar supposed to be a volcanic wasteland? I don't know. It just seems... I'll be honest, I have absolutely, like, very little interest in another Jurassic film. Like, Dominion and Fallen Kingdom showed me that they don't know what they're doing. And they've already fooled me with 2 really terrible films. So I'm really not that invested in a new one. I'm not going to watch it in the cinema. If I watch it, I'll be watching it, I'll pirate it. And I'm pleased to say it. They do not deserve my money for another Jurassic film. If they pull off a decent movie with this new one, then maybe the next one I'll pay to go and see. But I am not paying to see Jurassic World 4. I will pirate it and watch it and give my opinion. I'm not watching it on release day, so there won't be a video on it. I'm going to be relying, because one of the channel's friends and Discord moderators, Lima, he's going to go and see it. He will give me his honest opinion. And yeah. And that's me voting with my wallet. Because I kind of have the same thing with any Jurassic World Evolution 3. You know, I'll be voting with my wallet. They've got to actually earn my money this time. It was absolutely dog Jurassic Jaws. I really agree with you there. Dominion just struck me as a story that they were trying to do too many things with. You know, oh, we want more dinosaurs, and we want this giant pterosaur, and we want Alan Grant in the original cast back, and we want Biosyn back, and we want, and then they tried to all push it in, and they didn't consider making a competent story from that, because if you actually watch Dominion, all you have here is it's a story about a kidnapped child who then gets kidnapped again, and they just go and rescue the kidnapped child, but they get chased every 5 minutes by a completely different dinosaur or pterosaur. Because otherwise the kidnapped child plot would be kind of boring. What building should I use? DFW, Jurassic World, Jurassic Park. So I challenge people to use the DFW building set. Building facility parks can actually be, you know, get the creative juices flowing. So I say you use the DFW Biosyn set. Instead of more dinosaurs in this one, they should focus on flying reptiles. I just don't think they should. I think there should be like a maximum of 6 species in a Jurassic film. A maximum of 6. And you have like 2 main antagonistic species that will be dangerous. And by antagonistic, I don't mean they will always be chasing the cast. I mean, they're ones that they are a definite danger to the cast if the cast gets seen. And then the rest are just either background dinosaurs or, you know, nice chill dinosaurs for chilled scenes. Because that's something else I think any new film needs to do. They need to get away from this idea that dinosaurs are either good or bad. They're just animals. You can't have good or bad ones. Just present them as animals, for God's sake. No more pet dinosaurs like Blue. Like I say, I have strong opinions. Some of this is also some work I've been doing this week is that I've been going back and watching all of the videos that were released about Jurassic World Evolution 2 before its launch, because I'm starting to write my end of game review for Jurassic World Evolution 2, which is probably going to be larger than the first game's one, just as an advance warning. So I've been going back and watching all of the hype videos and stuff they did, and it's kind of made me angry. there's, there's a lot in there that's made me quite angry. Right. So obviously we're going to have... Oh, sorry, just getting my headphones comfortable. We're obviously going to have plenty of plant eaters in here. I think we'll do... Let's get Notepad up so I can make a list myself. We will do a sauropod, which will have a mating pair of, so only 2. We will have, living alongside the sauropod, we will have a... Just thinking what we have in the rest of the park. We will have a species of hadrosaurid or iguanodontid. And we will have a species of... ceratopsid as well. So we'll have a mating pair of sauropods in here. We'll have iguanodontids and ceratopsids in here. We've got iguanodontids in here though, actually, haven't we? Yeah, we'll figure that out. So there's suggestions coming up in chat already. Hold your horses. Yeah, let's go and let's go have a look. When the hell did they start naming every dinosaur? Yeah, that's another trait of the Jurassic fandom that I'm so sick of. Why does every dinosaur have to be named? And what stupid names as well. Quilliam? Really? Why? Quilliam is just a stupid name in the first place. Just say the Jurassic Park 3 Raptors. 99% of Jurassic fans know exactly what you're referring to. Okay. This... I wish we could categorize by dinosaur family rather than just whether it's a herbivore or not. Okay, so we got Alamo we could do. I am tempted to put Ankylodocus in, but I'm thinking maybe we could do a hybrid only park for the next build. So I mean, yeah, Berenson is kind of there with the theme. Like if we're making those that central mount to kind of have like a wizard feel to it, then Ankylodocus would work. Dread. Oh yeah, I have plenty of mods, Spiny Games. I don't play this game without it. I played this game without mods for 2 weeks, decided it was not a big enough improvement to the first game, and yeah, switched out. We do have Argentinosaurus or Australotitan that we could put in. Although I do think I mean, they would be very, very, very big for that enclosure. I should have gone and gotten that Suprasaurus mod I saw. Let's see what kind of skins we've got on Australotitan. Actually, what did the... I'm curious, what did he... Okay, so the patterns determine the colour of the spots on the neck. So obviously our male one, we should pick a mating colour for him. I quite like the idea of him having yellow spots for the mating colour. How many subscribers do you need to be able to get super chats? 1,000 Jurassic Jaws. Then you can activate super chats in your streams and stuff. Super chats should be activated for well, we're gonna have a breeding pair of sauropods. Yeah, I'm just thinking about what sort of color. Because if we're gonna have like yellow spots, then the color needs to be fairly dark. I agree, Spiny Games. The base game's sauropods, so bland and boring in terms of colorations. Jurassic Jaws says do Gambia. Kind of like Gambia. It's kind of warm. Reminds me of a cantaloupe melon. In that case, I think I might change the color of the spots to like a pink. That shows up quite nicely. Red works quite well, but the red looks too normal, whereas the purple looks like very abnormal, which I think works for a mating display. So Australotitan male is Gambia River Basin and Lithopates. We've all heard about how stuff evolves into crabs. What you never hear about is how often shit devolves into crocodiles. True, true. Yeah, I mean, I think both Spiny Games and Jurassic Jaws have hit on things I want to talk about in my... when I talk about... You know, I've been doing my 5 things Jurassic World Evolution 3 should do videos. The one about the animals is going to be 10 things. So there's quite a lot I want to say about the animals. And you've hit upon like 2 points here, like both more animations for socializing, for idling, but also the skins just need to be greatly improved. So the female will have no pattern, but it needs to go along with Gambia, but it can't be... It needs to kind of go along with Gambia, but not be as bright, I feel. There's nothing that we could really do alongside Gambia. I mean... Amazon rainforest has the kind of the same sort of orange, it's just not as bright. The greens are just way off though. Like you could do Salar del Huasco and even Chaplin Valley. Amazon works in your opinion. Okay. So that's the female, and then the male is that. Yeah, it's not that far off, is it? You've still got that sort of dull orange terracotta underneath the green. So actually, yeah, it does work quite nicely. So, os female. is Amazon rainforest. Right. Hadrosaurid or iguanodontid. We already have iguanodon in the park, so could do Corythosaurus or Edmontosaurus or Noma. Sorry, we could do Mutabura or Titan. Orano, just no. I hate the Oranosaurus. I really, really hate it. Parasaurolophus, I feel I use too much. Tenonto. Yeah, we could do Tenonto. Hypsipema. Hypsipema is very decorative. Mutabura is Australian, that's true. Like, if we're going to have it with Australotitan, I think maybe having Mutaburasaurus works. I believe the Tenonto is based off of the Isles Tenonto. So the choice of pattern changes, like, the stripe color. And then, like, you have a range of body colors. I really do like the Tenonto, especially this blue. But King Giga has got on to a good point that if we're going to have Australotitan, maybe we should have the Australian Mutaburasaurus with it. I want to have a colour that's quite distinct from the colour we've already got in there. You know, the blue, this blue and orange I think is fantastic. You know, it was the best skin in the first game. And I quite like it with the black stripes. White stripes looks good, but I quite like it with the black stripes. So the male is going to be Mutta. So Gambia River Basin and Papurana. Mutta female. This might be tricky. They get rid of the pattern. There isn't really a colour that is similar. So I'm feeling like, why don't we just make the difference in colour between the males and females like really, really distinctive? So let's do... Females are just going to be gonna have the same striping, but the color's gonna be way off. So Great Sandy Desert and Papurana. Okay, Ceratopsid. Fletcher, use a small Australian carnivore as lower. I never mix carnivore and herbivore paddocks together. That's something I don't do. I just think it's very unrealistic. So, Centro we used in the Egypt park. It's a nice dinosaur. There is no Australian Ceratopsian. No. I'm trying to think of one I haven't used in a while. Maybe Toro? I haven't done Toro. I haven't used Toro in ages. Let's have a look at... I feel like Torosaurus gets ignored. Which I think is a bit unfair, because I think Toro actually has some very good skins. That's almost similar to the Mutabura. So, let's go with... I do really like this grey and spotted red. Since when is my boy Dravidosaurus in the game? That's a mod, Spiny. It's been a while since I've seen mod reviews. I know that Best in Slot is still doing it. I don't know, maybe next week I'll do like a review of a bunch of mod species. Like all the mod species I have installed. Maybe next week I'll just do a video on that. If people would, you know, like that. Let's see, main body color. Let's go with... I kind of like that. Like the battleship grey with the red spots. Ooh, I kind of like that even more, actually. I really like that. Okay, there's our male. Male tauros are going to be Gambia River Basin and Pulcrana. And then the female tauros, we'll get rid of the pattern, obviously. Need a... Damn, we don't actually have like a proper grey. Like, that's more brown than grey, I feel. And then that's just... that's not even black, is it? That's way too white. That's kind of the closest to it you'll get. You know, I think for the females, we'll stick with the same skin color, and we'll just remove the pattern, you know. I have a personal grudge against Nasuto. I feel Nasuto gets way too much attention. The fact that Nasutoceratops basically replaced Triceratops in the Jurassic World trilogy, just no. Like, I'm sorry, makers of Jurassic World, but we all saw that field full of Apatosaurus, Stegosaurus, and Triceratops on that island. So Triceratops is the ceratopsian that should be everywhere. Not Nasuto. Yeah, Kairu, I also feel that's another problem with having Nasuto in the film, because all the uneducated dinosaur peasants are just going to label it as that's a Triceratops because they're dinosaur peasants and they don't know they don't know their ass from their elbows when it comes to dinosaurs. So they should have just left with they should have just kept it with Triceratops. Right. Let's get these dinosaurs. Oh, they're literally manufactured next door. That's helpful. So Australopithecus. Male is Gambia with lithopates. And the female is Amazon rainforest with no pattern. Can I just point out it's 500,000 to incubate one of those eggs? And then nearly 1 million to create it. They want tool fruit and tool fiber. Tool fruit and tool fiber. So normal forest just gives forest. So ginkgos provide them. So what we'll do is we'll make this island like a bit of a ginkgo island. We'll also put down some like ginkgo on here. Not too much, because what I want the dinosaurs to do is kind of move around the enclosure, and a good way of doing that is to have more than one food source. So hopefully that gives the dreads. Hopefully gives the Australotitans something to eat. Which dinosaur did the mod makers use to make that? I believe the Australotitan and the LA Studios is God's sake, Argentinosaurus uses the Dreadnoughtus model. Hello, Guillermo. Didn't see you pop in there. Yes, the Dominion Dread. And look at them. Oh, another idea for a video I was thinking of doing is doing a video about the vehicles that we see in Jurassic World Evolution 2. Like, going over the real world, like, details about what these vehicles are. Because these are all based on real, you know, machines. You know, actually, they're not that, when you look at how, it's funny. I say it doesn't look very big. This is an enormous animal, but in an enclosure like this, actually, you know, I think a mating pair is sufficient. Again, I feel this is something people do with their enclosures a lot, is that they over-inflate them or overfill them with animals. I think a mating pair of sauropods in an enclosure this big is perfectly sufficient. There he is, look. There's our one Australian sauropod. And our male Australian sauropod. We will name these. We'll come back at the end and we'll name our sauropods, obviously. Zeus and Hera. They're not very Australian names, Cairo. Right. Let's grab our hadrosaurids. So, how many hadrosaurids shall we do? Let's do 6 and see how it goes. And let's go... Where are we? Mutter. There we are. Gambia River Basin and Papurana. We'll do 2 males. And then we'll do 4 females. Again, something just to keep in mind if you are doing sexual dimorphism in your parks. Herd animals, you'll have more females than you will males. So try to, you know, stick to that sort of system when you're doing it. Have like 1 male to 3 or 4 females. It's more realistic that way. Have I ever played Red Dead Redemption 2? No, I haven't. I have played Red Dead Redemption 1, and it didn't grip me. I just didn't find it particularly interesting. I don't really have much of a Western thing. I really don't like Westerns. I don't like cowboy culture, which is funny considering I'm gay. I really hate cowboys. I don't like Western movies, and I really just don't kind of understand the American nostalgia for that time. Red Dead Redemption 1 just didn't kind of grip me. I honestly thought it was a poor man's Far Cry 2 back in the day. But that's why I have people like Fallout on the channel now, because he can play those games. How are we doing on the poll? Fallout 4 and Red Dead are in a dead heat. Interesting. But Renson, I like you. I suppose it's not necessarily the game I don't like. Like, the gameplay of Red Dead I think is brilliant. The gunplay is satisfying. I love the focus on the environmental design. It's a brilliant looking game. I guess what I don't like is the surrounding setting of it being in cowboy times. I'm also not a big fan of GTA because, like Red Dead, it's also a game where you just generally play as a bastard. And I am someone who tends to play the good side, even in stuff like Fallout and Skyrim. I don't want to be the bad guy. So, I guess that's another reason why I didn't quite... they want ground fiber. Let's put down some, like... shrubbery here for ground fiber. Obviously, we'll go around and do like plenty of other decoration when it comes to like trees and plants and stuff. But I just want to make sure that the animals have stuff to eat for the moment. Akura and Billa. Oh yeah, the Bista have... I don't know how to pronounce that dinosaur name mod. Looks pretty good. I do actually want to check out some of the new species mods, like this Superosaurus that was released yesterday. Because I have felt wanting some newer species. Brent and Chloe could work, but again, they're not very Australian, are they? Oh, there we go. We got an animation playing. And then they walk off like nothing happened. There we go. See? This is... in Jurassic, you know, since we were talking about Jurassic World Evolution 3 minutes ago. I don't want to be able to do that in the next game. I don't want to be able to be looking over my dinosaurs and it be obvious that one is about to play a behavioral animation. I don't want that. They said it wasn't going to be like that in Jurassic World Evolution 2, and it is. I don't want to be able to predict it. It's got to look natural. You can't just stick a dinosaur, like have a dinosaur sit there for ages while the person it wants to have the animation with arrives. Yeah, it is a brilliant model. They've done such a good job with it. I like the kind of osteoderms running along the back. I think it's a really nice touch. It gives the animals some chunkiness, which I like. See you in a bit, Jurassic Jaws. They're all Australian. This park is still Europe themed. I know. I suppose we should have gone with European animals in here, but once we had Australotitan and Muttaburra, the idea of it being a kind of Australian bit did kind of sit there. Right, let's get our Ceratopsid in. Again, Ceratopsians... Gambia River Basin and Paulgrana. We'll do 2 males. Get rid of Paulgrana, so we've got blank and 4 females. So we'll put these dinosaurs in, and then once they're all in, we'll have a look and see how full it feels. Because we might put a 4th species in here. But again, I don't want it to appear too crowded. I need a Struthiosaurus mod. Oh, your favourite Nodosaur. I feel like Nodosaurus gets ignored. I feel like Ankylosaurs in general get ignored. While they're doing that, let's do some decoration here. I wish the individual placeable trees provided food. Again, because it would kind of change how we design enclosures and parts. But alas, that's too an imaginative idea for Frontier. Honestly. The level of hopium I see on the forum, on Reddit, for Jurassic World Evolution 3, it makes me laugh. People are so trusting of Frontier still, after all the bullshit that we had with Jurassic World Evolution 1, and all the bullshit we've had with this game. The fact that people can still think that Frontier will actually put the effort in for the next game. I seriously, seriously doubt it. I want something a different colour here. That'll do. I don't completely trust Frontier to deliver Jurassic World Evolution 3. I'd love to be proven wrong though. Yeah, I mean, I'm of the same opinion. I would love to be proven wrong, but the problem is everyone said that to me when Jurassic World Evolution 2 was being hyped, and I said to people, why are you so trusting they're gonna do this? And they were like, oh well, they've learned from their mistakes of Jurassic World Evolution 1, you know, have some faith in them, you know, they'll prove you wrong. And then the game released and it was broken and buggy and glitchy and lacking in content, and all I feel was vindicated in being proven that Frontier can't be trusted. And now sort of the same people are saying the same thing again about Jurassic World Evolution 3. It's like, oh, just trust them, they'll do it right this time. It'd be like, how many times are you going to say that? I feel like, and I know this is going to sound really bad, but it's the only similarity that I can draw, is it's like being in an abusive relationship. Oh, don't worry, he'll be different, or they'll be different. You know, it's not just a male thing, there are plenty of females who abuse their partners as well in relationships. You know, they'll learn this time, they'll stop abusing me this time, and they never do, and then abuse people say the same thing over and over again. And I feel like that's a similar situation to what some fanboys have with Frontier. It's like they'll let Frontier beat them up and then Frontier will be the faintest sniff of a new game or something, and they'll be like, oh no, Frontier will be, they'll do a good job this time, and it will be amazing. And yeah, it's just like being in an abusive relationship. How many times must Frontier beat us before we start saying no? That's just my view anyway. And I know that some people, Evo is like, well, I want to be optimistic, and that's fine. I get it. Some people want to be optimistic and want to have hope for it, and I have absolutely nothing against that. And to be fair, Evo's channel probably grows a lot more than mine does because she is so optimistic. And people like people that are optimistic. And I get that. I really do. I just can't be optimistic anymore. Never have been a very optimistic sort of person. I'm a very sort of realist sort of person. I go based off of what I think is most likely. And unfortunately, for Jurassic World Evolution 3, any possible Jurassic World Evolution 3, I think it's very likely we're going to end up with another shit game. That's just my feelings about it. Who knows? I mean, again, I think it is also worth pointing out to people who go on and on about Jurassic World Evolution 3 like it's actually happening. It isn't. People think it is. There's an assumption it is. But right now, absolutely nothing is confirmed. At all. They're working on something. Could be anything. And that something could still be cancelled. The company is not, healthy. If the company suddenly goes bust, obviously something won't be coming. So I wish people would stop talking about Jurassic World Evolution 3 like it's, yes, definitely happening. We think it is. Be honest about it. It probably is. Nothing's confirmed. We've got to wait and see. Hey, that looks good. Jurassic World Evolution always seems to get the short end of the stick by Frontier. They're not incapable of making something good, they're just not trying. I mean, a lot of people put that down to Universal. And again, I've spoken before about people who blame Universal like it's Emperor Palpatine. And everything bad about all of the games is due to Universal. I don't believe that personally. I honestly don't think Universal are that fucking bothered. From everything I've seen in the last few years, film companies and production companies seem to be lazy rather than that active. I don't think they care that much to say to Frontier, oh no, you can't have bridges in your game. And your animals must animate like they're robots. And you can't have guests that dare to sit on park benches. Like, come on, guys. That ain't Universal's fault. That's Frontier's fault. Frontier should be held accountable. They really should be. I mean, that's why with any other you know, the next game they do, if, and I stress if, it is another park building Jurassic World game, because again, we don't know. It could be some mobile title, or it could be a port of this game for something else, or it could be a Jurassic game but it not be a park builder. We just don't know. But if it is another Evolution type of game, they've got to earn my money this time. And if it's just a minor advance on this game, they won't have earned my money. Yeah, I mean, that's the other problem, Monster, is that the quantity of people like me who actually want to hold Frontier to account and want gaming as a whole to get better are in the minority of people, unfortunately. Too many gamers are happy to have their faith betrayed and to be treated like shit by games companies. How many of the people that got, you know, fake outraged at EA and what they did with Star Wars Battlefront, then went and brought Battlefront anyway and play it anyway? There are just too few people care about the quality of video games for people voting with their wallets to really work anymore. Which is why I don't like people saying to people, oh, well, vote with your wallet and don't buy it. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. There are too many stupid people around that will. It's a bit different if gaming was less factionalized, but it is factionalized now. There you go, that's better. So, what have we got? We've actually not filled up. I feel like we've got quite a lot of room in this enclosure, you know. What do these boys eat? Ground fiber. Yeah, it does. Kyrie, I agree. The whole vote with your wallet seems a lazy way of doing it. I would rather people actually bother to review a product properly. I mean, that is why me and or why I don't really like Best in Slot, because I feel that he doesn't do reviewing the games that good. His review of Jurassic World Evolution 1, I still maintain, was incredibly deceptive and misrepresented the product we all got. I mean, I watched his re-review of Jurassic World Evolution 2 the other day, and again, I feel like he was completely missing certain points in his review. Things that I think are worth mentioning. Like the bugs. Yeah. Like all the game-breaking bugs that are still in the game that haven't been fixed. And it doesn't matter even if they had been fixed, because the simple fact is no game should be released in a broken, unplayable, contentless fashion. But obviously he can't say that, because if he does, then Frontier are unlikely to have him as a content creator again. Which is again why I don't like the idea of content creators on YouTube working with gaming companies, especially. Because they can't be truthful. They can be truthful up to a point. But they still also have to kind of toe the line at least a little bit. It's why I'm pretty certain I will never be a content creator for a games company. No, regardless, even if you know, this channel was massive and huge and had thousands and thousands and thousands of subscribers, they would never be willing to work with me. Because I am way too honest. I am way too blunt, way too critical. And I would, I'm gonna say this here and now for you guys, I would never accept any sort of contractual agreement while I was not allowed to criticize the game. And I do feel sometimes that Frontier might prevent people from being honest. The Best in Slots example of his review of the first game, that to me was dishonest. I mean, I think Jurassic World Evolution 1 was marketed entirely dishonestly in so many ways. Let's not forget the fact that they showed us behaviors that the dinosaurs never had. Or didn't have at the launch, you know. They showed us videos of Triceratops sleeping in the Triceratops species reveal, and then the dinosaurs didn't even have that behavior when the game launched. That, to me, is deceptive marketing. They got away with it. It's like when Shadow of Mordor devs paid a bunch of YouTubers thousands of dollars to talk positively about the game. Yeah. It happens all over the show. It's unfortunately very common. Yeah, and I understand that for YouTubers who do this as a job, it must be overwhelmingly very stressful, you know. If you're doing this for a job, it is your source of income, you have got to have the content, but you've also, so if you're getting it early access, that gives you the content, you can earn your money to live from that content. So in a way, you're kind of artificially pressured to do everything you can to keep yourself on the early access list to get that content. I fully accept that that is a pressure for anyone to be under. And I don't blame any content creator for perhaps not being as negative about the game as, say, I am, because I don't have that pressure on me. Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, exactly. You know, I've said this to Evo before. Like, I would never want to be as big as your channel because it seems so stressful. And honestly, I do. I think it is so stressful to have basically your life determined by how quickly your content comes out or not, whether you're getting early access to it or not. It must be such a stress. And then on top of that, you have to add working with these bullshit companies. It can't be nice, no matter how nice the company is. I can't imagine dealing with any company and their contracts and NDAs and all that rubbish. I can't imagine any of that is relaxing or easy. You know, I watched him play Zoo Tycoon again and got pissed at how he was so clueless for skipping the tutorial. Yeah, if you're going back to a game you haven't played in ages, at least play the tutorial. Like, for heaven's sake. This is starting to look pretty good. I want something in here. I don't want it just to be vegetation and rocks. What sort of decorative flares could we add? Let's have a look. Oh, I know. Ooh, we could do something. We could do something. We could do something with this, actually. We could do something with this. Okay, that's good. This looks good. This looks good. Let's bed these in a bit. Let's get some rocks actually. Let's bed them in with some like normal rocks. The fish. I didn't know that one had fish flow going around it. These ones don't. That one does have... That one has fish. So we'll get rid of that one. Just have like a... big rock there. You're not good with coming up with lore. I'm sure if you put your mind to it, you can come up with something. I'm going to be doing the same for my Star Trek channel soon. Doing my own lore videos. Incidentally, we hit me and my buddy Nerd Guy, who you might remember did the reviewing of the Jurassic World films with me. And we are going to get round to doing the original Jurassic Park movies at some point. It's just we're both a bit busy at the moment with various things. But yeah, me and him have a Star Trek channel which hit 100 subscribers this week. So my second channel is doing pretty decently too. Which is nice. Okay, let's put in some of the fir trees around here as well, because we've got fir trees in other places, so it just helps to continue that feel with it. And then we want some other colours in here. And then let's also just do like, we need a pleasure path through there to the beach. There we go. Yeah, it just adds a little something, doesn't it? Gives the enclosure a cool kind of natural environmental feature. Let's put in some more foliage around here. Let's put in some more ginkgos, actually, if we can. Please put a ginkgo in. There we go. Can we have another couple of ginkgos around here, please? Nope, apparently we will only have the one ginkgo. These plant brushes are so shit. Excuse my French, but they really are awful. This area here. Can we have some trees? No, too many trees. Let's have some leafy climbers, actually. go. And then have some low intensity, like scuff terrain. That was maybe a bit too much. Yeah. I feel like we need a few trees. Sort of around here. Obviously, I'll be designing the elements around the stations, but that'll be an off-stream thing. I think we need like a couple of bushy areas here and here as well. Maybe have the occasional larger tree patches. Since we've got some pretty big sauropods in here, they'll need plenty to eat. It's a bit green, so let's just add a couple in there. Hey, I'm pretty happy with how this has come out. I think there's a last couple of elements I want to add. I always like having some sort of movement in the enclosures, and the easiest way of doing that is to add fountains. Give some background noise as well. Like, just stick a decorative fountain or two in. Bed it in with some plants. Put a few rocks down in here. What are you guys talking about between British royals and... What are... Oh, you're all having your own little chat there. Is anyone watching the Olympics? I know that Britain is doing especially bad this year. Which doesn't surprise me after the football. You didn't do particularly well in that. Nice. And yeah, we just need to add a few rocks and stuff around this river because it's a little plain at the moment. Oops. Might have been too close to the gyrosphere. And maybe just could do with like some rocks around this island, I think. I think that looks pretty damn good. I watch it and the Italian swimmer beat us by 2,000th of a second. Christ. That's close. That is damn close. I do think we could get away with one other species of animal in here. There's enough spare room. Let's go and have a look. I think I want the species to be something fairly chunky because we've got quite a few small species in here already. We've got like Oviraptor, we've got Sedgy, we're going to have Microceratus, and we've already got Moros intrepidus in the park. So I think I want something big, or at least bigger, and it's got to be... Minmai is still pretty small. I want something... Janabia is also pretty small, Cairo. It's like a pygmy. You can see by how many squares it takes up here. It's a pygmy animal. I was actually thinking something a bit showy-offy, like a wooher, perhaps. Or we could have Tenonto, since we were going to pick Tenonto but didn't. We could have the Tenonto in. It's just a little bit, you know, similar to Mutter, I feel. I would like an animal that's very different. Starting with Y. Oh, Yamanosaurus. It's like a little sauropod similar to Niger and Amaga. Keep the Tenonto for the Enchanted Forest. Okay. We could do like Sauropelta. What else have we got here? Kentro, maybe? I wouldn't mind a species of Stegosaur. We just got so So few good ones. How big is Dravid? Dravid is small. Tarchia, I think, is kind of small too. Yeah, Tarchia is too small, really. Sauropelta is not that much bigger. Yeah, what, screw it. We'll have Tarchia in here. I love the Tarchia. It's probably one of my favourite new species mods. Just because the colours are so good. Like, let's have a look. I'm just trying to think what colours we've already got in that enclosure. Kind of greens, orange, blue, grey. Maybe the red would stand out. The red and the orange. Maybe he gave it... the white armor. I mean, you can do a walking with dinosaur skin with the black and the yellow. Oh no, it's the other way around, isn't it? There you go. There's your, like, walking with dinosaurs-esque yellow and black. But I did like that with the white. I feel that's quite distinctive. So we'll go Gambia River Basin and Calcarana for the males. Females, if we remove the pattern, what if we keep the pattern but change? So that's quite dark. What if we go to there? I think that works. We can keep the armor. Yeah, we'll keep the armor color and just change the body color. So females will be Great Sandy Desert and Calcarana. Oh, I completely agree, Kairu. Like, Frontier did all of the stegosaurs in Jurassic World Evolution 2 a disservice by making their patterns so goddamn awful. And what's actually, let me just go back and show, because it's not that it's not that the problem is the general. There's Polycanthus. Like, so this is Polycanthus with FGM's mod on, which basically gives the Polycanthus the colours from the Shonisaurus. And you can see it's that actually when it comes to skins, it's not that the actual animal themselves have bad patterning or bad sort of colour positioning. What makes the ankylosaurs bad is that they've got really bad colours. Like, this looks fantastic. But then if we compare it to... where's Sauropelta? There's Sauropelta. And we'll just get rid of the pattern. And we'll just... I mean, look. Oh, look how Great Sandy Desert's okay, but I mean, an Amazon rainforest, maybe? But the rest, like the body, look how little the actual, if you ignore the armor and just look at the body, look how little the body is kind of changing. Especially these two. These two have the same body color. And then if you then go look at what the patterns do, oh, we've got a slightly grayer stripe, or a slightly green stripe, or a slightly... I mean, that's okay. But a beige stripe, or a grey stripe, or a slightly bluer grey. So you got beige, green, black orange, beige, grey, grey. It's like, what? Why can't you have proper fucking colours? And it's really frustrating because there's so many, like, you can literally type in to Google Images any of the animals that are in this game, and you will find some absolutely fantastic skin ideas for all of them. There's no reason for these skins to be as appalling as they are. I can't wait to see Prehistoric Kingdom be finished, just because its animals are going to be so much better. Like, as a park builder, obviously Jurassic World is always going to be the better park building game, and I use the word better in as you don't have to be a graduate of engineering to build stuff with it, but in terms of the dinosaurs, the animals, Prehistoric Kingdom already blows them out of the water massively. So good gracious how much further they're going to go with it. Okay, Gambia River Basin and Calcarana. Let's go for a fairly even split. Let's do 3 male. And 3 female. I quite like the idea of ankylosaurs being mating for life. I just get the impression ankylosaurs just wouldn't like be sort of mass herd harem animals. I just get the idea that ankylosaurs, like, they mated once and they were just, yeah, that'll do. We'll just stick with each other. We can't be asked to mess around more than that. Because can you imagine trying to mate as an ankylosaur? You've got all that armor everywhere and that club tail as well. It can't be easy. Don't quote me on this out of context. Living the albatross lifestyle, yeah. No, he was scratching his leg. That's what he was doing. How is the poll going? Fallout 4 winning out with more than half the vote. Alright. Looks like Fallout 4 might be the game we go with. I'm really happy with how this has turned out. I think we were right to put in the upper area coming back. I think that really helps give the enclosure something special. And I think it's definitely big enough for 4 species. You know, a mating pair, the mutters and the trikes. What do these guys eat? Ground leaf and ground fruit. There's plenty of that around. Look at him. I really like this color combination. If you're doing a park in, if you're doing like a desert park, like Arizona or something, I think this color combination would work really well. They just stand out really well. They remind me of, oh shoot, is it coral snakes? Am I thinking of coral snakes? Because I know there's 2, isn't there? They look very similar to each other. One's poisonous and one is not. And I'm pretty sure coral snakes are the ones that are like red and black but have the white highlights around the black. It reminds me of those. Ooh, the female Torosaurus are having a go at each other. Where's the male? I love it. The male's here just... I'm having a sleep. The females have worn me out. Is it one female? Oh no, there's 2 males, isn't there? 2 males. I do like how subtle the male patterning is on the Torosaurus. I think that really helps sell the sexual dimorphism. Yeah, I like this one being the female Ankies too. Again, I think it works. And there we go. Are we getting in position for an animation to try and play out? Nope. Nope. Apparently not. We'd love more colourful ankylosaur rods, for sure. Yeah, I think this doesn't look too overcrowded. I mean, it does over here, because they're not... For some reason, the dinosaurs are not, you know, coming over here that often. But I think this works really well. I think the colours suit the environments, like the dinosaurs don't look too out of place, but they also don't fade into the background. I think the sexual dimorphism colours we've got going on are really good. I think our choice of sauropod definitely is a good one. I like, you know, having something new and interesting in there. So yeah, I think we've created something pretty decent there in basically 2 hours. Oh my lord. How many more streams are we going to end up with this park? I think this area I'll probably do off stream because it's going to be mostly like non-dinosaur stuff. This area down here will probably be 2 streams, figuring out how to connect up the aviary with the rest. And then obviously there's the massive swamp that needs doing, which is... I might do the swamp off stream, so it's a total surprise. So you have to watch the tour to see the swamp. So yeah, maybe 2 more streams for this park. And some heavy-duty off-stream stuff to complete it. But yeah, I think the tour... shall we ride it? Seems a bit silly not to. Can we ride? There we go, we'll ride the gyrosphere. Still one of the stupidest vehicles, I think. Yeah, I agree, King Giga. It is basically a hamster ball. The thing is, I don't understand how it even moves forwards, because a glass ball doesn't have any grip on a surface. Can you imagine trying to go over wet grass? Like we see in... Because in Jurassic World, the gyrospheres just seem to be driving over grass. If that got wet, these things wouldn't move. They'd just be spinning on the spot. I can also imagine, like, can you imagine a really tropical day, 40 degrees, inside a glass ball? Oh man, these things would be... You'd just be roasting yourself inside. Away he goes. These archways. I really hope, again, Jurassic World Evolution 3 hopes we get more decorations with verticality to them. What a place to choose to sleep! Oh look, the pattern's on the tail as well. That makes sense. Oh, there's one of our males. Oh yeah, there's no way. I mean, just the health and safety risk assessment for something like this alone would be massive. But yeah, I mean, cause I've mentioned a few different video ideas I want to do in the next few weeks. Would people like me to do a video on, like, the helicopters and what they're actually based on, like the real world vehicles that these things are based on, or Guillermo says yes. I mean, I would probably do it on the helicopters, because the ground vehicles we're all pretty clear with. They're all Jeep Wranglers. But the helicopters, I think, are less well known, so I'll probably just do it on the choppers. But yeah, there is the tour, basically. And then obviously, then you get off here, you'd have this side of the park where you have the aviary, the overlook to the lagoons. We are going to have to figure this bit out, because I've realized there is no connection to here yet. So we are going to have to figure out how to get guests down here. Where is our monorail? See, this is why I think we need another form of transport other than the monorail or those See, we could put the monorail coming around here and then down this way and then sort of getting off here. Like, what does that look like, actually, since we've got a little bit of time? Let's just, like, mock it up. So it would be kind of there, and then there. And basically there. So it would be kind of like that. It's, pretty gross. I feel that totally spoils that whole thing. Yeah, no, definitely not. The problem is, I don't think we can use... Let me just, do an experiment here. Ah. Okay. That's interesting. So, stuff you put down here does count as connected. So it just has to have paths to other buildings. So we could just use 2 of those and have it as like a pretend like tunnel system, go from somewhere down to here. And then that would at least connect all this area up. And we'll have a couple of lagoons down here to decorate. This one is obviously already in place. But we'll have another one over here as well. It looks like a roller coaster. It certainly wouldn't be smooth, that's for sure. Yeah, I'll have a think about that. Again, I wish there were tunnels. Kyodenic did have a tunnel mod, but unfortunately he hasn't updated it. Oh! We could hyperlink station it, actually. Stupid me, I forgot about the hyperlinks. We could hyperlink it, couldn't we? We need something that doesn't look too iffy, though. But we could just... like, maybe if we phased one of these buildings into another one, so it looks less biocine. And then we can just hyperlink up to here, down the waterfall, out this way, and wherever we want to go. Yeah, we'll probably do that. We'll probably have like a hyperlink station. I do also want to have somewhere a hot air balloon ride, which might be the thing I put down here. And we'll have like the hot air balloon ride go over this way, over here, around here, down to here, and around here. Maybe over the coast as well, and then back over the waterfall to here. You'll just have to wait and see, I suppose. Well, it's 11:05 here in the UK, so I'm going to pause it here for now. I'm going to end the poll. Fallout 4 seems to have won out, so I will let Fallout know that we will be doing a Fallout 4 stream on Wednesday. It will be base game Fallout 4. We probably won't run with mods because we want it to be as reliable as possible, and this is a Bethesda game we're talking about. Or I might bully him and see if he can play the new Fallout London mod. I'll let you guys know. But yeah, thank you for tuning in on this stream. Next Sunday we will be back here, and hopefully I'll have done some more work on this park off stream so we can expand what we're doing. And yeah, this has been good. Alright, well everyone, I hope you have a good rest of your day wherever you are. Thank you Berenson, Spiny Games, Cairo, King Giga, the Monster, Guillermo has been here as well. Turbo Soul popped in for a bit. There was quite a lot of you today who stayed for the whole thing, and it is very appreciated. If you haven't liked the stream, please don't forget to do so, and if you're watching this and haven't subscribed, also please consider doing so. Helps the channel out. But for now, wherever you are, enjoy the rest of your night, stay safe, and goodbye.